Satellite online.
Transmitting from the third mole from the sun. You have tuned into Radio Cosmos.
Hey, this is Mike Thompson. Welcome back to Radio Cosmos Live, and I'm thrilled to have Mr. Anthony Peoples with me here today.
Which one am I waving at?
All of them.
Hey, guys. That one specifically.
So, Anthony, thank you for coming in and taking time out of your very busy schedule. We've been trying to get you in for a while, and you just play all the time.
I do.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's great.
I'm glad to be here, man.
That's great.
Glad. Yeah.
Hey, tell us a little about, are you a Panama City baby? You from this area? Did you move to this area? What's your background?
Yeah, no, I was born in Sacred Heart in Pensacola. Mm-hmm. And I was adopted from birth. So my parents shipped me over here, a week after I was born. Lived here my whole life. Grew up in Lynn Haven. And I'm still in Lynn Haven.
Excellent.
So, yeah, I did a little bit of time in Nashville, and then I realized that as lovely of a city as it is, it was not for me.
Okay. Now, were you up there writing music?
Yeah, playing, and all that. So I went up there before I was married. Mm-hmm. Wrote, played, and then I got married, came back home for a while, and then actually when I signed to a label a little later on, I spent about a year tracking up there to do my album. So yeah, it's like we have an off again, on again relationship, me and Nashville. But I'm very local. This is I'll probably die and bury myself in the backyard of my Lynn Haven home.
Excellent. So, good place to be.
Yeah, I think so. Along with my dog.
Your music is really, I really enjoy it. And the nice thing about it is it's got a lot of different flavors of different styles of music. There's a little bit of folk to it, a little bit of country to it, but then there's also a very modern sound in it too. Yeah. Which I know I love, and my daughter, who's 17, loves it.
Yeah.
So she's a fan, by the way.
Yeah. I think that probably comes from I was really into. I grew up. My mom, she would listen to, like the Beach Boys and and my dad was really into. He liked Creedence and stuff like that. But by the time I came around, it was mostly contemporary Christian. Mm-hmm. There's people like Rich Mullins and Third Day and the Newsboys and stuff like that. So it took a while to kind of. So then I was like, I want to be rebellious, and I just listened to a bunch of metal, like Slipknot and System of a Down and Disturbed and all this stuff. And then I discovered the Beatles. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they'll change your life if you ever give them a chance. And so I picked up the one album, which is I think it's 27 number. It's their number ones or something. And popped it in. And in the same day, I bought just a Bob Dylan. I just was I've heard these people were good, but I've never listened to their music. So I popped them in, and just a game changer all the way. So then I was exploring all different kinds of music, just opened me up to all different kinds of stuff. So then when it comes to writing, it's I really draw from a lot of different sources, but I would say it's probably somewhere in that. There's a lot of roots in that, the 60s, 70s sort of sound. But then I love bands like Mumford & Sons and The National and Fleet Foxes and all these indie bands, and they're big fans of them. So it kind of all just bleeds into that.
Well, and that shows, I think, because a lot of your songs have that, because people think about the 60s as being kind of the psychedelic sound or the big rock band. It's almost kind of a jam band sound, but they forget that big strong hooks in all that stuff. That 60s music all had big hooks.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think a lot of that made it into your music. It's very evident.
Yeah.
So even your more esoteric.
Yeah.
For lack of a better
sure,
term.
you know, good,
You
yeah.
know, when
Sure.
you venture out into different sounds,
Right.
There's still at the end of the song something to leave you humming.
Right.
Because
Pull you back
there's
in
that
there.
hook
Yeah.
So that's right. Which a lot of bands don't do that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
whether they don't do it on purpose or they don't do it. Now, when you're writing music, do you sit down and think about it? As like, I want to write something that's in that vein, or I'm going to explore this style, or is it more just that's a song in your head and you get it out?
It just depends. I do a lot of co-writing, and if you've ever co-written, you find out that you pull things out of your co-writer that they didn't really know was in there, and they pull things out of you didn't really know was in there, and so depending on the co-write, you're going to come out with something real different pretty much at any time. And so when I go in, I'm gonna be writing for something that has to do with sync, because the label I'm on they're always pitching my stuff to all these companies, and so I'll go in sometimes with a mission to write something that we would you'd call like sync friendly, right? So I'll go in, or sometimes I'll just go in and be like, I don't really care what the song sounds like today. I just got some crap I've got to get out of my guts and put it down on paper. So yeah, I don't really typically go in with a mission. I go in with a riff, and then from the riff comes the melody. And then what I find it actually is interesting is that usually for me the lick contributes itself. It lends itself to the melody, right? So you play something, and you're like, oh, that makes me think, right? And then you're like, oh, well, that makes me think of a sunshiny day with whatever, Yeah. And so usually that's like the process of that, but I don't really go in with a certain I want to be this or do this. I just try to be authentic and try to be like, I don't try to be something else.
Well, let's talk a little about your not to get it down the business trail too far, but about working with a label.
So basically, I've been signed to First Note for I think 6 years. It's coming up on 6 years. So when I first signed, I signed as a songwriter, just a songwriter. And then, they found out I could sing and perform, and they were like, well, maybe, maybe would you like to sign an artist deal? So I was like, sure. I got nothing else to do,
No, I don't think I want to do
No,
that.
thanks. Yeah. So then I started writing for a project, which came out, as Different Faces. That's the name of the album. And, I wrote for that project for, I don't know, 6 months of writing probably towards it. It wasn't a huge amount, but I was a real fresh songwriter at the time. And so, yeah, I mean, we went in, we presented my stuff to a few public producers. One was the one guy who he produced a couple Taylor Swift albums. I don't remember, Chad something. I'll probably get in trouble for not remembering that, but. And the other guy we chose was Dave Brainerd. He's a Grammy nominated producer, and he did Jared Neiman. He did a country guy. I'm awful with country, so I really don't know. But we were real fortunate to get a lot of players in there. We got the drummer that plays with Robert Plant, and Mumford and Sons fiddle player, and Dave Matthews bass player. We recorded it in Grand Victor Sound in Nashville, which is this historic, huge, just all wooden walls studio. It's not owned by Ben Folds, and there's pianos everywhere because it's Ben Folds. And I got free Jimmy John's the day we did tracking, so I was pretty happy about that.
That's good.
Yeah. So and then we took about a year to really hammer out a lot of the finer details. So I started as a doing performing and being an artist and a writer and all that, and then the company just started gradually moving towards sync and sync placements. So that's just TV, movies, commercials, whatever. And
you've had a lot of success with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd call it relative success. I'd love to have more.
Okay, for those of you out there that want to judge this scale, two different network shows have had some of your music on, and none have had mine. So
just give it
that's
time.
An infinite amount more.
Give it time.
Actually. That's infinite times two.
Infinite times two.
Yeah.
So it was Grey's Anatomy. Had one of my songs.
Yeah. What song was that?
It's the Same Mistake. It's the first one on the album. And then the song Shaped by the Dust got placed on a show called Council of Dads. which aired like 10 episodes, and then unfortunately got cut because of COVID, because they lost funding, because everybody lost funding and all that garbage. So, anywho, but still got the placement, which was cool.
Well, that's great. That must have been exciting to turn on the old TV and
it was cool.
And now it was it your recording of that song?
Oh yeah.
Great.
Yeah, and I didn't write either of the songs for that. They were just on my project.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of cool because it wasn't like I wasn't writing specifically for for the show or anything. Now sometimes you'll do that. You'll write for specific stuff. But this is just they liked what was on my record, which was nice. Made me like, yeah, all right, I wrote something relevant.
Relevant. That's my magic word. Everybody always asks me what I want out of music. I just want to be relevant.
Oh gosh, Lord, yeah. Don't listen to all my B-side songs then if that's what we're after. Yeah. So yeah, it was really cool. I mean, it was weird because you don't. They didn't let us know. Last we heard, they were like, cool, sign this and we're gonna move forward. And then we're like, oh, we didn't hear back for like 3 weeks. And so we're like, well, I guess maybe that fell through because there was a lot of different stuff. I had like a Disney thing that got to the very end and then fell through. I had a thing with Netflix that got to the very end and then fell through. And so I'm like, well, no big deal. It's just another one of those things. And then somebody texts me and they're like, holy shnikes, I just heard your song on Grey's Anatomy. What the crap, dude? And I'm like, what? After the fact, it had already aired. So yeah, so I did the album, and then I like did some touring regionally. I did. I was such a weird slot. I opened up for Casey and the Sunshine Band in Montgomery Civic Center. What was it? That was like 2 years ago, I think. And it was the way I liked it.
Yeah.
No, it was great. It was super fun, but it was like I was like, I don't feel like I fit here, but I'm super happy to be here. And then a few months later, we opened for Boz Scaggs, the same place.
Wow, that must have been,
it's really cool, And
well, those are just great stories. I mean, regardless of where you think you are in your musical career, whether you're succeeding or, I mean, that's the kind of stuff.
Yeah.
People would kill for just as experiences.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, maybe not the Casey and the Sunshine Band one.
Casey, yeah. Yeah. It was
sorry, Casey. You're watching.
You're watching. Yeah. He had a toupee. It was definitely a weird experience. We had a blast, though. We had such a good time. And, Boss, he was just like, they both did this. They send their band out and do the band practice, and they practice for, like, Casey or Boz, and then they just walk out when it's time to perform. So Boz, like, he just sat on his bus. The show had started without him, and they were like, starting intro, playing music, and then he, so we hadn't seen him the whole time. We've been hanging out with his band, and then like we were like, is he supposed to be here? And this dude with this real tall dude with a suit just walks by. He's like, hey guys. I'm like, I guess that's him. And then sure enough, he walks on stage. So yeah, but anyway, we're close to the tour bus level. We're close, but
and that's you've arrived when it's like the band.
the band. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the bus.
Let's see, watch some Cartoon Network. You walk straight from the bus to the stage.
Yeah, that's right.
And then straight back.
And then that's it. Yeah. So we did a few shows up there. Did some shows in Birmingham. I played the Bluebird numerous times, and
how was that experience? Because we've had other people that have come in
and they played it. Yeah. So when I first went up there before I got married years ago, I just did an open mic, and anybody can do that. You just got to wait in a long line. And the next time I did it, it was in a round, which you're familiar with, the songwriter round. So I was in a songwriter round. The next 2 times I did it on invite off of a friend's night, and then the next time the Bluebird had me do my own showcase. So that was really cool. So I brought my band up there, and we did our own night, which was that doesn't happen very much.
Was that a intimidating environment? Not from the people, but just the fact of the people that have come before.
Of what it was. No, man, it's more inspiring. And I think at that point I had played it. That was my 4th time.
Okay,
and so
it was
like
gig.
Yeah.
I mean, a nice gig,
sure.
but,
It
special,
felt more,
but
it felt more
yeah.
comfortable. It wasn't uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think,
Now, is that a friendly crowd?
oh yeah, they're great.
Okay.
Yeah. One lady offered me some food, which was great. I was trying to like play. I was like, that looks good.
The touring
she
musician.
offers her plate up.
Yeah, we got the touring musician.
Yeah, that's right.
over
What's the
here.
thing? It's like
DJ.
mozzarella, tomato, and like a balsamic drizzle. It's like some weird bougie food. I don't know. It's a
Balsamic
rich
drizzle.
people.
I mean, I
It's a
had
rich people food. I think.
fried chicken for lunch.
So
I don't do drizzle.
no drizzle. No drizzle. So then we played over at South by Southwest of Texas, and then we played
Nice.
over. I got flown out to play at a Bose showcase in the Hard Rock in Vegas, which was one of my more
That
favorite.
was probably cool.
Yeah, it was super fun because the show was great,
Yeah.
but mostly just like cruising the strip in Vegas with the band was it was fantastic. So yeah, and so now I'm focusing on songwriting for I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to do another project in 2022. So we'll see. I'm writing towards it, and I don't want to put songs that I'm feeling like kind of okay about on it. I really want to have like stuff that I'm really, really behind, yeah, so they've basically given me green light. So what I'm hoping to do, and we'll see. But I was like, hey, if I crowdfund this, would it be cool if I just did a project like just something of a passion project, because a lot what they really and this is how I'd run it too if I was running a label. They're like, hey, look, if we're gonna put out a full album, we want to have like a touring schedule behind it. We want to have like we want to line it up for all these sync placements and get it charting and all that stuff. So there's a lot of other things that have to be taking place, and also the songs have to fit a certain criteria, right? Because they want it to be a certain product. And so I'm like, I'm happy to do it, and I'm gonna do that as well. But I'm thinking I'd really love to do a passion project, just because I have a lot of songs that will never be that. I have songs that will never be up for placement. They'll never be chart material, but they're just songs that mean a lot to me. And so. So I'm hoping to have written what I want to write this year, and then I'm gonna see. I don't know, if people like me enough, they'll contribute, and I'll crowdfund enough for a record.
I bet you got enough
We'll
people
see.
to chop.
We'll see.
Put Calvin down for a 20 spot.
couple grand, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Lauren Spring. Lauren Spring. The Crickets.
Yeah.
I've got to write with her tomorrow actually, but
Nice.
We write together quite a bit. And she's like, look, we have crowdfunded our projects and like made and done really well. She's like, if you've never pulled on your following before, and you don't ask for things, so this people are going to be behind it, and so
Well, the nice thing,
she kinda
for
encouraged me to do
for your, I hate to say fan, it's your fans of your music. They're going to feel a little ownership in it, which
right,
is great.
sure,
And they get the special,
Yeah.
things out of it that you give.
right,
But at the same time, they want more music. So if they got to put a little money down
right,
to get what they want,
Sure.
it's not like it's a handout.
sure,
Yeah,
sure,
You're taking
right.
that money and turning it into something
right,
that-
and
that
people
they want.
Yeah, they ask me all
and
the
it's
time.
expensive
yeah.
to make records.
It is.
Ask my wife.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, that's about all that.
Yeah.
What's going on with in that world, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, I tell you,
Thank-
how about we pop next door and play some music?
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm excited about this.
I got to think of what I'm going to play.
Well, think about it. We'll see you guys over there.
This would be way better if it was Sprout TV. Well, until that happens, you're watching Radio Cosmos Live. I don't know.
All right, welcome back to Radio Cosmos Live. I am here with Mr. Anthony Peebles. He's amazing, and he's going to show us just how amazing he is. What you got for us this afternoon, this evening?
Yeah, this afternoon, this evening. So I was up in the Blue Ridge Mountains with my wife like a month ago, and we were watching Fellowship of the Ring, which I don't know if you've ever seen Lord of the Rings, but I'd highly recommend it. and somehow simultaneously watching the sunsets. I don't know how I was doing it, but there's a lot of whiskey involved, and so your eyes start drifting. You know, it happens. And this little riff came into my head, right? That was like. And I was like, okay, I gotta write a song. So as I was on sabbatical, I began to work. And I wrote this song. It's called Home With You. So yeah, I'm gonna play it for you.
Lay it on us.
Okay.
Take me out upon the highway. Take me out upon the road. Stick to the rivers and the byways. I'm laying down this heavy load. And I find my way back to where I started. And I find my way back to you. No matter where I go, I'm always home with you. Even when my eyes are blinded, you're my light and view. Oh, you keep me captivated with everything you do. Well, I'm always home when I'm with you. All these unfamiliar faces, all these long forgotten names, I keep running to these places, knowing I could never stay. And I find my way back to where I started. And I find my way back to you. Ain't no matter where I go, I'm always home with you. Even when my eyes are blinded, you're my light and view. Oh, you keep me captivated, everything you do. Well, I'm always home when I'm with you. Ain't no matter where I go, I'm always home with you. Even when my eyes are blinded, you're my light and view. Oh, you keep me captivated, everything you do. Yeah, I'm always home when I'm with you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
buddy. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
That's nice, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is what you think of on a mellow afternoon watching the sunset in the mountains with your wife.
I know. I think it was the Lord of the Rings.
Gotta put a little edge to it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it.
Yeah.
You know, I had this really great rye. It's called Resurgence Rye, and they make it in Atlanta, and you can't buy it anywhere. Anywhere, you have to be real close. You know, so I have my favorite whiskey, and
That's
I
your
had Lord of the
favorite wine?
Rings. Yeah,
And your favorite wife.
that's right. So I mean, it was a recipe for success.
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong?
I know. It's great. It's great.
Very good. What else you got for us there, big man?
Yeah. So I was just thinking I would play this song. This is actually one of my favorite songs that I've ever written, and I wrote it when I was 17, which is astounding to me because usually anything you write like pre-23, 22-ish, for me at least, I'm like, oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, you haven't had a whole lot of life to play.
No.
You know what's funny, though? After having done this show, well, we've done probably 9-10 shows now. It's amazing how often you hear the same thing.
No kidding.
This was one of the first songs I wrote, and I was like 14 years old, and everything I've done since is better, but this is just. I think these songs just. They have a special place in your heart, and what they might give up in what you perceive as some type of quality, they more than make up for in not even nostalgia, but just they're where you came from. This is the beginning.
They're like pure to an extent. When you grow as a songwriter, you begin to shave off some of this, extra stuff, and sometimes there's a little bit of wonder in there.
Yeah.
Because back then I didn't know anything about theory. I didn't know why I was playing the chords I was playing, or if I was supposed to be playing.
Good.
I was like, well, this seems cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't think too hard about it.
Well, there's an innocence to that.
Yeah.
And I think it comes through in the music.
Right. So my girlfriend had broken up with me, and I was like, I'm gonna get her back by writing her songs. And it worked.
That showed her.
She married me. And
you got her. That kind of get her back. I thought you meant
no,
get her back.
No. I'm not a very resentful person. But
and she married you. So this is a catcher of a song.
That's right. I guess. So it's definitely special. So it's called Weeping Willow.
Come and go with me, my love. I will take you where you have forgotten. I'll take you to a place few have ever tread, few will enter. Your love is like a fire burning deep inside my broken mind. Weeping willow, weeping willow. I remember before the Great War, when you were stronger. Now you come to die. Slowly close your eyes, I'll meet you on the other side. Oh, come, go with me, my love, and we will talk beneath the weeping willow. Weeping willow, weeping willow. I can see the weather change, changing of the times. Oh, fall is coming on. And we might think of better days, but life is easy now, so we'll keep walking on. Oh, come and go with me, my love, and we will talk beneath the weeping willow. Weeping willow,
Nice.
Thanks. I lost my
Yeah, you got excited there.
Somebody
Microphone
did,
was
I
flying and
guess.
stuff. Yeah, you had a little, and you know, and I think exactly what you were saying there. You know, you don't know, you don't feel burdened by any kind of rules or any kind of conformity to something the way it's supposed to be. You know, because you're cruising along on what's a up-tempo, energetic,
Major.
but basically a nice. And then you drop into like almost a grunge little groove
Swamp,
there at
yeah,
the end, little swamp rock.
yeah.
And I'm
That's
like,
right.
yeah. See, Anthony 2021 probably wouldn't make that jump. What do you think?
True. Although that last song I just played, I was just thinking about it. You know, I'm playing. This is a real. That's a real, and then it goes into the major, and then it hops to the minor again, and then back to the major for the verses, the minor for the. So I actually was playing the song. I was like, oh shoot, I'm gonna do the same thing in both songs, but it doesn't happen often. To answer that,
You can overthink these things.
that's probably the only one.
No one's going to go,
this guy's an idiot.
He just played that. Yeah.
He did. The sound engineer.
Calvin would,
knew. He heard that.
But he thinks that way.
There are a few of us out there.
Yeah. And I kind of feel sorry for you because
Yeah.
you know the rest of us just go, oh, that was cool.
That was great.
I like that.
I know.
I have no idea why I like it.
It's a rough life, you know.
I don't
Somebody's
know-
got to live it.
I don't know good music, but I know it when I hear it. Wasn't there a famous quote from a senator like that? Something like that.
I wasn't there.
This show ain't about that. What else you got over there, man? I'm excited.
Yeah,
now.
I'm gonna
You're
do.
rolling.
I think I'm gonna do the song from Grey's Anatomy. The one
Great,
that plays.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's called "Same Mistakes," first track on my record, and I had it all laid out, and I was on my way to the studio, and then I was like, I don't like this. So I actually rewrote the whole second verse in about 3 minutes in the car, walking from the car to the studio. So. Yeah, I have.
Right is right, no matter how it happens. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's weird. Sometimes you'll labor over a song for forever, and sometimes you'll just be like, whoop, brrr, and
Yeah.
that's it. And it's weird. You've written some. Is that kind of you had that
Oh
experience?
yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it just
and
fall
it's funny,
out.
And it's funny because some of them that just I think are almost. I mean, they're fine or whatever, and people will be like, "That's my favorite song on the record,"
Oh yeah.
and I'm like,
Right.
"What about this
Well,
other
yeah,
one?
right,
Well, that
right.
one's good too."
It's
But,
okay,
but
yeah.
I, just for some reason,
Right.
you just sound like you. My favorite one is you sound like you found your voice on that.
Ah, yeah.
And I'm like-
yeah.
The one that's like dum 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 for the whole song, you know, and they're like, "Yeah, that's the one."
Sometimes.
Like, what about this
yeah.
one with all the
I
changes
don't know,
and
it's
the
weird.
cool little, yeah.
No, I know. It's like what you said.
What's
you overthink
good
it. You
music?
overthink it. You overthink it. Yeah,
That's
right.
good. How those guys pick songs that are like, ooh, that's the one we're going to promote, and that one we're not. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm glad
They
it's not
just-
my job. I just try to write good music.
Well, obviously, this is a good one, and it was
Yeah, we'll
thought
see.
of by
Yeah.
the powers that be. So lay it on
Yeah, I
us.
don't know, but if the powers that be like it, is it good?
It's more profitable.
That's way too much of a philosophical question. Sorry, that's not what we're here for. You're right. Yeah, it's called Same Mistake.
Expanding your horizons with Anthony Peebles.
What am I supposed to be? I've seen all the possibility. And the time has come to change my mind. They say that happens all the time. With every bone I break, with every risk I take, far from the plans I've made, I won't make the same mistake. So spare me all your flattery. Find a better way to lie to me. Though your silence can be deafening, oh, it's a silence worth remembering. With every bone I break, won't make the same mistake. Oh, my hand speaks louder than my heart. The time I lost, making my way back to the start. It's a long way down. Yeah, long way down. With every bone I break, in every risk I take, far from the plans I've made, and it won't make the same mistake.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks. So I figured out why that got placed on Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
Because the chorus says, with every bone I break. So people be breaking lots of bones in that show. You ever watched it?
Only when you were on.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I
I have seen it.
Like a
lot
couple.
of people.
But
really-
people get
yeah,
hurt a
yeah.
lot in that show.
Yeah.
And so I was like, $20 says they liked with the line that said, every bone I break.
And that was written just. I wrote this song. It wasn't
Yeah,
written
yeah.
specifically for
No,
it.
no.
Just.
Yeah, right.
I think you're right.
I could be. I don't know. I don't
Good
know.
on Scrubs too.
Huh?
That would have been good on Scrubs.
It would have been good at Scrubs.
I've been watching Scrubs. I'm
Yeah.
amazed how they weave the music into the show.
Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah.
there. It's
Right.
part of it.
Right. What?
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of that's kind of a trend.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like that. So
Yeah.
there's hope for
Yeah, I
us.
think that song has like 100,000 like streams.
So you
because
made like
from
what,
that show.
$3.50.
Yeah, like yeah.
yeah. Great. Good for you.
$2.5.
Yeah. Oh, don't even get me started.
Yeah. I think you're. It's dealing with a fan base more than finance. I think that's the,
Yeah. Oh,
the
yeah.
hope. But it's not always true. I don't know. It's complicated, man. I don't think anybody really gets it.
I think
You know,
that's the way they like it.
Everybody,
whoever they are.
Yeah, the they. Here
Somebody
we are
out
talking
there-
about the ethereal
who
they
Who
again.
negotiated that contract?
Yeah, I don't-
anyway? I don't recall.
Yeah.
They didn't call me
Yeah.
or my people.
I know.
Tom, did they
I don't-
call you? No. Tom's my people.
No. He said no.
We'll have our lawyers look into that.
We have time for one more?
We have time for three more.
Okay, I'm just killing them in here.
Well, two more at least,
Ooh.
if not three. Yeah, man, we got time.
So I'm going to play you a few that I have in mind. And so this song, I'll play one that's like totally off the wall for
Absolutely.
you real quick. This song is about my great uncle. His name was Francis Marion. And he's known as the
Francis Marion?
Swamp Fox. Yeah.
So we've referenced Swamp Rock
and Swamp
and
Fox.
Swamp Fox on the same show. That's
Lucky
the first.
us. A lot of swamp. Well, we're in Florida.
Now, if you get Swamp Woman in there, we'll be.
I need to write that. I haven't written that yet.
It's been written. I'll send it to you later.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's a distant relative, my mom's side, and for those of you who don't know, I don't know if I should talk in here. He was a colonel in the Revolutionary War, and he led a band of militia that used to hide out in the swamps of South Carolina. And in the Santee Swamp, and actually the Patriot was loosely based on.
And there was also, I think,
Swamp
a
Fox.
Disney series
Oh, was there?
called
I get-
Swamp
Oh,
Fox.
I'm gonna check into that.
Yeah.
And anyway,
Way
they'd-
back when
they'd,
they used to,
they'd raid British supply trains and come into camps in the middle of the night and hack people up with tomahawks and stuff like that. So anyway, we always
little light fun.
yeah. So this is definitely a very Americana folk song, like 150%
Appropriate.
Americana folk. Went on to be a congressman, and so I mean, he's just this really interesting dude. He's a patron of the Army Rangers, because he basically invented guerrilla warfare.
They invented the.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his Rangers.
I know.
were the-
It's totally random, but so anyway, so I come up with this lick, and I was like, that's like the folkiest lick I've ever made personally.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what can I put over this? And I was like, oh, I gotta do Francis Marion. So I come up, you know, we read the books as kids and stuff. My mom's like, "This is your great uncle." I don't know how many greats. I'm just throwing them out.
Pretty great.
So yeah, this is this song is called Swamp Fox, the Ballad of Francis Marion.
You're laughing at your own.
Yeah. It's too ridiculous, really. But I feel like you go ridiculous, and then it becomes cool at some point.
Oh yeah,
right?
then it's camp.
Yeah, right.
So
Right.
This isn't ridiculous. It's campy.
There you go.
Very stylish. And if Disney does another series on it, you are golden.
I'm
You
in,
are
baby.
Set.
Deep down in the swamplands of South Carolina, Swamp Fox and his fighting men stand and hold the line. We burrow in the cypress tree, down in the whitetail den. We are specters in the hollow, we are wild and hunted men. Yeah, we stood down the regulars, outnumbered 10-1. Turning tail and musket, Lord, we had 'em on the run. Yeah, the crowd was losing money, soldiers and supplies. Old King George was scrambling, just trying to keep his pride. Well, down came Colonel Tarleton to track us through the reeds. But the Santee Swamp would bleed him dry and chop him at his knees. Hidden by a moonless night out of our shady glen, tearing through that Tory camp came Fox's fighting men. He hung his sword and musket o'er the fireplace. Ever he a fighting man, he wore it on his face. Stories turn to legend as we bind them to a page. Oh, here lies Francis Marion, the swamp fox without age. Yeah, here lies Francis Marion, the swamp fox without age.
Thanks.
Man, that is so. I tell you, it takes me back. I can't remember if it was while we were recording the other part, if it was before we were talking. You know, as a kid, I'd go to my grandpa's farm. He had a record player, and he had, you know, the Ballad of John Henry, and he had, you know, Tennessee Williams. Like Tennessee Williams would be Ernie Ford. Tennessee Williams would be a playwright. He probably sang some too. Anyway, but man, those albums he had, that would have fit right in there with him. That kind of, you know, it's not just folk stuff, but it's that deep Appalachia,
right.
You know, soggy bottom kind
Absolutely.
of folk stuff.
I've been in a huge Doc Watson kick for the last, I don't know, year, I guess. I mean, really, like, and my dad listened to a lot of it. My grandpa sang a lot. You know, we'd be hanging out. My grandpa, and we'd be, you know, playing in the living room, and we hear, you know, Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say, Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, there's definitely that thing that's just there, you know, from as far back as I can remember.
Yeah, it's funny how you pick those things up. My grandfather lived on a little farm, you know, and at night they would go out in the front porch and pull out the hymnals and start singing those old,
Yeah.
those old Baptist,
Yeah.
wonderful things about crossing over the Jordan and all that. And a lot of that stuff has actually made it back into my music, not directly, but
Sure.
stylistically or just kind of the themes. A lot
Right.
of the themes,
Right.
and the metaphors they use for
Yeah.
for
Some of that
love
stuff's
or-
timeless.
or
you know?
di- yeah,
It's
it
like
all
it's-
is. I mean,
yeah.
it's good stuff. So.
Yeah.
We got time for about probably 2 more. If you got a short and a long one, or 2 medium ones, or 2 long ones ain't gonna make it.
Okay, too long was I gonna make it? Yeah, so I wrote this song right after my daughter was born. She was born on March 21st of 2020. So we went into the hospital, and they were like, "Hey, there may be like a sickness going around, so we've been kind of locking down."
Yeah.
And by the time we left, they were like, "No visitors, no one there to, only the dad to deliver." I was lucky I even got to be in the delivery room. Like, it was like they were like shutting down. So by the time we got back home, the world had stopped. And just a weird time to have a kid,
Yeah,
And,
yeah. It's a scary
fortunately,
time.
it wasn't our
Scary
first
time.
kid, so we were a little more comfortable.
Yeah. First one you wrap in bubble wrap.
Right,
Second
you're like,
one, you just
"Ah!"
kinda,
Yeah,
Second
yeah.
one you're like, yeah, they won't break.
So
They'll
yeah,
break.
they're fine,
bounce.
So anyway, but all my gigs stopped, just like everybody else's. Everybody's life stopped, and I was like, crap, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So anyway, I started just like stressing, thinking about what's gonna happen, and then I realized that that's like the only way that I figured out how to stay sane was to just be present to my current reality, which was hanging out with my kids, growing okra, drinking White Russian in the kiddie pool with my kid, and yeah. You don't like okra?
No.
Well, you'd like it if I made it for you. I lost you on that one. Well, so
All right, it was Anthony.
We'll wrap it
Thank
up.
you very much. We're gonna have, never mind.
So yeah, it's called Day by Day, and I just wrote a song about it because it hit me. The only way I can stay sane is to like take it a day at a time, and not to try to like figure out or fix how this is gonna go, because you can't control it. And so, anyway, that's what I wrote it about. So I hope you like it. If you don't, you can't tell me because you're behind a screen. So you can tell me, you and you. But
Oh, you'll know if Tom doesn't like
I know.
it. He'll make that
sure
face.
of that.
He'll make that face.
I keep thinking that I'm dreaming, and any minute I will wake. But these impressions that I'm feeling, all that I can do is wait. 'Cause I can't help this sinking feeling that we all live in the same boat. Maybe there's a way for healing. Maybe there's a ray of hope. We take it day by day. Day by day, gonna take it day by day. Day by day, we'll take it day by day. Day by day by day. So rid my life of all the hustle, rid my body of the grind. Life is more than just a struggle, and if you're seeking, you will find. There is meaning in the moment, yeah, there is purpose in the plain. And if your life's an empty canvas, all you have to do is paint and take it day by day. Day by day, we'll take it day by day. Day by day, gonna take it day by day. Ooh, day by day. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh, oh, yeah, we'll take it day by
Yeah, thanks.
I like it.
Thank you. I think I hit a one or two foul notes, but
No.
he'll cover it up, I think.
No, we don't have those on here.
Foul note? Oh,
Yeah.
Lord, we'll see.
Calvin's got a button for that.
yeah. Boop.
They just doop, disappear.
Gone. Thank God for
The
auto
other thing, I mean, I had heard your albums, and I think I've seen you play a time or two, which I don't get out much. So,
Yeah.
But it really strikes me the strength of your voice. With the expression you can put into it without, you're maintaining it even when you really push your voice. So a lot of times, I know mine just goes wah.
Right.
What do you mean right?
No, not that part.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Not the last part.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard you sing, so.
Well, yeah, there you go.
I
See?
can't speak for that. I have no
Freaking
idea.
great. Or as Calvin likes to say, I think you got a better one in you, Mick. Yeah.
I think Calvin would say you're predestined to have another one in you.
Is
that right?
Yeah.
Was that good? It was a good joke, right?
Wow.
All
That
right.
was
Fair enough.
a little theology joke there. Very
I
good.
gotta toss them in when I can.
Nicely done. Well played.
I took vocal like classical singing for like 3 years.
Okay.
And,
yeah, really. I mean, I'm not just that support you have.
Sure.
Because I'm sitting there thinking on some of those songs, catty little me. Since you're a nice guy, I can't hate you.
Try.
Or make it irritating that you're that good and nice. You know what I mean? But I'm thinking to myself, it goes, man, that's gonna be one of those songs. When he's 60, he's gonna say, "Why did I write that one note?"
That's right. No, I know.
Yeah, you'll still be belting it out, though.
Well,
man,
we'll
I'm sure.
see, man.
You'll still be belting it out.
Yeah, we'll see.
We got time for one more tune. Send us on our way with a keeper.
Okay, so I was thinking about doing this. I wrote this with Will and Lindsay Thompson. They're good buddies of
I
mine.
love those guys.
Yeah, they're good people consistently.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the spotlight, they have to kind of at least put on an air of being kind, but they're actually good people, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on camera. They're good folks. So we lost our house in the storm. I know everybody in the flipping Panhandle lost their house in the storm, so I'm not trying to gripe, but just to tell the story, we lost our house, and they were out of their house for a year. So we were both out of our house for about a year. We rebuilt, they rebuilt, so it's good. But it was about 3 months later. They were way out in the West End in some condo. So anyway, I went out there to do a songwriting session, and we were all just kind of like grumpy, I guess.
Yeah, it's very stressful.
Slightly grumpy. And I don't know. We wrote this song, and
This is the grumpy song.
it's not. It's actually fairly happy. It's hopeful, but it's truthful. Which I guess is what you aim for. But it's called "Looking for a Change."
I've been living my life in a circular drive. I've been waiting to find the sun on the wrong side. Time is all that it takes. So they keep on telling me it's not easy to believe. Ooh, don't want it to rain no more. Don't know what I'm waiting for. Ooh, I can't stay. Ooh, I'm settling out my score. Not the same man that I was before. I keep looking for a change. Like a dream that you had that you couldn't recall. I've been hanging on to something that was never really there at all. Ooh, there are things that are not what they seem. Still I'm chasing that mirage like a man without a cause. Ooh, don't want it to rain no more. Don't know what I'm waiting for. Ooh, I can't stay. Ooh, I'm settling out my score. but I keep looking for a change. I need something to calm the water. I need someone, oh, take me back when there was no trouble hanging up the way, 'cause the storm is almost over. Ooh, don't want it to rain no more. Don't know what I'm waiting for. Well, I can't stay. Ooh, I'm settling out my score. Not the same man that I was before. I keep looking for a change, 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 change. Oh, I've been waiting on it. I've been waiting on. I've been waiting on a change. Ooh, 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 ooh. I've been waiting on. I've been waiting on a change.
All right.
All right.
Where can people find you, give you money, buy your product, see your pretty face, hear your gorgeous music?
Goodness gracious. Well, locally I'm doing a weekend show at right by it's on Beach Drive, right beside Destination Panama City. They're doing a concert series. Panama City is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. It's 7:30 on Friday, and then yeah, Anthony Peebles Music, Facebook, Instagram, the interweb. I don't know. That's pretty much it, I suppose.
Okay.
I'm going down to Tampa in July to play some, and
Nice.
here, there, and everywhere, I
I
suppose.
don't think it's hot in Tampa in July, so that'd
No.
be nice.
Yeah, it'll be a nice
You
reprieve.
get a sea breeze.
God help me.
All right, he is an amazing fella. He's a great dad. He's a good guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well,
so I hear.
that's what they. I don't
He's
know.
very good to us and a heck of a human being. He's Mr. Anthony Peebles. Go check out his music. He's quite wonderful. That's going to do it for Radio Cosmos Live this week. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
I do appreciate
Yeah.
it. We'll see you guys later. Point at a random candle because we're not really sure
Boom.
which one's
See you
on.
guys.
Yeah.
All you guys. That guy specifically.